Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. So the show you are about to see is called Raqsah, Waqsah. Raqsah in Arabic means a dance, and Qissah means a story. So we're going to take you on a journey through the Arab world and show you dances and stories, and you can hear beautiful music from Morocco, from Egypt, and from Saudi Arabia. You can see here, my friends will be joining me. This is Alan, our narrator. In Arabic, we call a storyteller, which Alan is our storyteller. We call it hakawati. Can you say that? Hakawati. One more time. Hakawati. Exactly. And then you will see our friend Lucia, who has a musical instrument in her hands. There she is, and you'll hear the oud. In Arabic, we call it al-oud. Can you say al-oud? Good. And if you say that a little faster, al-oud, 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 al-oud. It sounds like the lute. Who's ever heard of the lute before? Have you ever heard of the lute? It's a very early version of the guitar. So the oud came before the lute, and the lute came before the guitar. So you can see this is a very old instrument, and you're going to hear what it sounds like. This is from the Arab world, and Lucia, our pal, will be playing this today. And so, without further ado, I would like to share with you Raqsah Waqsah.
The following short stories tell us about the legendary Qissah. We could say he is a wise fool, dumb like an ox, smart like a fox. Qissah transcends countries and boundaries, and he is known by many names, and versions of his tales are told all over the Middle East and beyond. No matter who tries to trick Qissah, he always wins the game. Qissah sat at his favorite cafe, boasting that he had the ability to see in the dark. Qissah, you fool, his companion said. If that is true, why do you carry a lantern with you everywhere that you go? Without a pause, Qissah replied, why, so everyone else can see me. During the previous year's harvest, Qissah had presented 3 of his finest pomegranates to the emir as a gift, and he had been generously rewarded. This year, his crop of turnips had come out as fine as could be asked for, and so he selected a handful and made his way to the palace. Qissah, you fool, his neighbor cried. Turnips are no gift for royalty. Bring him something sweet, like dates. Qissah took his neighbor's advice. He turned back and prepared the figs, which he then presented to the emir. Although sweet, the figs did not compare to the finest of the turnips. The emir, who was in an angry mood that day, instructed his servants to pelt Jaha with the dates, one at a time. And with each hit, Jaha cried out, "Praise be to God for my good neighbor. There is not a finer man than he." The prince was puzzled by this and asked why he would say such a thing. "Your Highness, if it were not for my good neighbor's advice, I would have brought you my finest turnips, and surely all of my bones would have been broken by now." Another day, Jaha was frying some quail when two of his friends came to visit. One friend picked a quail out of the fire, tasted it, and said, "Jaha, what is wrong with you? This lacks salt." The other friend picked another quail out of the fire, tasted it, and said, "Jaha, you're a fool. This quail lacks oil." Taking the last quail for himself, Jaha said, "No matter, as now this quail lacks quail." Maybe, my friends, this tale is true, or maybe it isn't. It is up to you. following story comes from Morocco. Let us begin by saying there is no God but God. Once there was a very rich man who lived with his 3 sons just outside of Marrakesh. The sons spent their days sleeping late, eating and lounging around. They refused to learn any kind of trade or find a focus for their lives. This concerned the man greatly. He himself had worked extremely long and hard to attain success from his humble beginnings, and he worried that his sons wouldn't be able to support themselves in the future. Eventually, the father became ill. Shortly before his passing, he called his sons to his bedside. "I will die soon," he said weakly. "But when I am gone, I want you to go to that field of land." He pointed out the window. "There is a great treasure there. If you dig it up, you will never want for anything else ever again." The wealthy old father passed away soon after. Once he was shrouded and laid to rest, the 3 sons headed into the field and began to dig. They had never worked so hard in their lives. Day to night, they dug until the entire field was turned over. What was once just a grassy patch of land was now totally uprooted, leaving only fresh, black dirt. But they had not yet found the treasure. Exhausted, they sat down to rest and plan what to do next. A neighboring bird, who had been watching them all day, called out to them, "I will give you some of the seeds I have collected. If you plant these seeds, the corn will grow, and you can guarantee that your stomachs will be always full." And so, the brothers planted the seeds in the freshly tilled dirt. And when the harvest came, they found that they had more corn than they could ever eat, so they sold it at the souk. The next year, they worked even harder and harvested even more corn and ended up gaining more wealth than they could ever have imagined. And so, they became hard-working, well-respected, honest farmers whose carefully tended soil always produced the best quality crops. Now, what do you suppose the treasure truly was? May Allah grant you the vision to see treasures everywhere that you go. Our next story tells one of the tales of Phaedra Darwish, whose stories are told all over the Middle East. A brave and smart boy, Hassan protects those around him. Listen, and you might discover a lesson or two. كان يا مكان عندي قصة من زمان. Phaedra Darwish lived with his mother. One day, his mother said, "We have no more food. Take these pots and pans to market and get the best price you can so that we shall have some bread tonight." Hassan took his loyal companion, the donkey, with him. After loading pouches of the earthenware on donkey's back, they headed to the souk, the marketplace in the middle of town. Near the souk was a barber who liked to cheat them out of their money. When the barber saw Hassan, he took one pan off the donkey's back and inquired, "How much for this pot?" "5 dinars, please," replied Hassan. "How much for everything?" asked the barber. 50 dinars for all, replied Hassan, who couldn't believe his luck. "Okay, you have a deal," said the barber, and handed over the money. When Hassan went to take the pouches off the donkey's back, the barber said, "Not so fast. You sold me everything for 50 dinars, remember. That includes the donkey." Hassan began to argue with the barber, and soon they were surrounded by the townspeople. The Qadi was called in to make a judgment. "Hassan, it is your fault for not making the terms of sale clear," said the Qadi. "You must give everything to the barber." Clever Hassan did not feel so clever. He went home to his mother that night with the money and without his donkey companion. Because they had sold all the pots, they did not even have anything to cook their food in. By and by, Hassan came up with a plan. He borrowed some fine clothes and dressed up like a rich man, then headed to the barber shop. The barber immediately gave this finely dressed young man his attention. "I would like a haircut for me and my partner," he said. "How much would it be?" 100 dinars, and you shall have the best haircut in all of the town." "That seems like a steep price, but so be it. After all, I am a rich man." When the barber was done, Hassan said, "Allah be praised. I do believe this is a fine haircut. Now it is my partner's turn." And he opened the door to the barber shop to reveal a donkey. The barber said with anger, "Is this a joke? I do not cut the hair of animals." But Hassan reasoned with him. "That was our deal. You said you would cut my hair and my partner's hair." Soon the two were arguing loudly enough that all of the townspeople gathered to see what was going on. Once again, a Qadi was called to make the final decision. Barber, I believe you agreed to the terms. You must cut the hair of the donkey. And so, the barber got out his blade and trimmed the donkey right in the middle of the souk, while the townspeople laughed and laughed. The barber was embarrassed, and he had learned his lesson. He gave the donkey back to Hassan, and clever Hassan and his companion went home to his mother and shared the day's bread. This tale is told day or night, and only Allah knows what is right.
appreciate you so much. I hope you had a lot of fun. Once again, if you will put your hands together and clap for our friend Lucia on the right. And now our friend Alan Turner as our narrator. We call the storyteller the Hakarati and Phaedra Darwish, and it's been a pleasure being with all of you today. Have a great rest of your day. We'll get it over to your first shower.
All right, before we leave, I'd like us to really put our hands together for a wonderful, wonderful show.